Hi, everyone. I'm Clyde Bryant, and welcome to episode 13 of the Uptown Experts podcast. I'm here today with Doreen Walsh, Vice President, Network Development, Dominion Lending Centers. That's a mouthful.
Well, that was great.
So thank you for coming on the podcast.
Oh, thank you for having me, Clyde. First of all, I'm in love with this office. I love it. I want to work here every day.
No problem.
And second of all, yeah, it's strange to switch seats. I like to be the question asker. But yeah, now I'm answering them today.
Exactly. So well, I had to take the opportunity. You know, you've been coming in, you've been doing the podcast, and I said, you're doing such a great job. I got to be the one to ask you the questions.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm taking the opportunity, and why don't you start just by telling us about who you are?
Oh, gosh. All right. Well, here we go. You know, it's so funny. People will say, how did you land in this industry? I think people literally just land in this industry. It's not like you go through school and go, hey, I want to do this or I want to do that. I've been in this industry, let's just say, I have more than 25 years experience. I've started to cap it at 25. I'm not coming clean.
After 25, I've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, that's it. We were prior to the podcast just talking about a few things and the different, ups and downs we've seen in over the years in mortgages. Let's just say I underwrote at 15 3/4 second mortgages. Wow. So let's leave it there. And, but I was a lender always on that side for years and years and years. And, an opportunity came up with Dominion Lending Centers. And I can't believe it's going to be 5 years in June that I've been here, which is crazy to me, but loving it. And basically it was to build a new agent program. This industry has been notoriously bad for training. And I saw that on the lender side, quite honestly. Yeah. So, as well, having that unique lens of both lender and broker has really helped me, so putting together this program. So I take new agents. I've built a whole bunch of education pieces. I have franchises that want to be part of the new education program and want to grow their franchises. So in correlation with them, we get new agents up and running. Now, last year, we knew it was going to be slower. Obviously, people weren't lined up to be mortgage agents or realtors.
Yeah, right.
No. So Eddie and I had a conversation about taking care of our top 50. So I also take care of our top 50 franchises, which I love doing. So it's very funny to see the difference, between your top 50 and brand new agents. But it's a great perspective from both sides, right? So yeah, here we are, and I picked up other little pieces. Obviously, I'm doing some videos with the GOATs of our Dominion Lending Centers group. I do my own videos on Facebook, just helping, agents, new agents, existing agents, anybody looking for tips and tricks. So yeah, I got a couple of, irons in the fire there.
a lot of experience, yeah. A lot of roles, a lot of support.
Right.
I know we were talking earlier about the types of support that you provide to the agents, and why don't you just maybe take a little bit of an opportunity to tell us about the new agent program, and how does that work? What does that look like?
So I get agents, from all over the place. Obviously our education providers. I'm on different websites, Newbie Mortgage Brokering, WIMI, all the different ones that they have on there. I get DMs from new agents. I get other franchises who don't want new agents, where people, come in and apply to that they'll refer to me. Because listen, not everybody wants new agents, right? They don't want to do the training. And that's what I'm very specific about too, right? If you want to build your franchise and take on new agents, you have to make sure that you've, set up to do that, because it's a lot. It is a lot. So when I take on these new agents, I have a bit of a conversation with them, right? Whether they want full-time, whether they want part-time, where their location is, and try and set them up with that appropriate franchise. From there, I've created, I think there's 11 modules online, everything from, the baseline of 4 different underwriting modules, and they really follow the flow of a deal, everything from most commonly asked questions, all the scripted answers, stress testing, how does an underwriter think, what do you put in loan notes, documentation, disrupting the rate conversation, and then a whole bunch of different types of alternative lending. We have a module on social media, you know, what you should be posting for the different aspects, you know, education about mortgages, collaboration with some of your referral sources and supporting them, a little bit about yourself. So it's a content grid that you would follow. I've got how to convert your business plan into an action plan, because we can all have a goal and we see that goal, but it's like, what are the steps we need to take, right?
How do we actually get there?
Right, growth hacking, what you do every single day to build your business. You know, building a business is like riding a bike. Don't stop pedaling, you know, right? You stop pedaling, that momentum will take you for a little while, but you'll eventually come to a stop. You want to carve out that time every single day to make your calls, you know, because this is why we see brokers and agents do this, right? Like, oh my God, I'm dead. Pick up the phone. All of a sudden they're busy. So then they stop the phone calls, deal with the phone, stop pedaling. Now they're dead again, you know? So I always say to-do lists are great. I love a great to-do list on a Saturday, right? Mow the lawn, grocery shop, have drinks. Yes, that's on my list.
Okay. It's a great place to be. It's got to be on the list.
Here's the problem with to-do lists. We go to the things that we like first.
We like first,
right,
exactly.
and that are easy, because we want to put that line through, right?
Give me that quick win.
It gratifies us that we're getting stuff done. Then we go to the stuff, might take a little bit longer, but we still like. We don't jump into the stuff that we don't like.
No.
And that's the stuff, sometimes that's the gold. And, you know, a lot of times we run out a day before we run out a list.
Yeah.
That's why time blocking is important. You know, have that time where you're educating yourself, have that time where you're doing your social media, where you make your 10 phone calls. And then, yes, allocate your time for deals. When you get to that point where you can't manage anymore, then you're looking for an assistant. But you need to keep doing the things that keep building your business.
Yeah, you have to keep it moving.
Right. So these are all the things that I have in place for new agents to start to understand, you know, pieces of that, those modules are building a business, pieces are underwriting, sales. It covers the full gamut. Not that then, you know, the franchise owners don't have to take it from there. You know, it's all different levels, but I've had franchise owners say, well, they're not really understanding, or somebody's not, you know, I keep getting asked the same questions. That's something you have to manage too, right? You can't give new agents the answers. You have to tell them, find the answer and come back to me.
Yeah.
You know, it's the old give somebody a fish or teach them to fish.
Yeah.
So I always say it's important that, you know, as a franchise owner, you know what's in those modules, because when you come to me and ask me a question, I'm going to say to you, go back and read this.
Exactly.
Right. So that's part of the training. That's part of helping people is, you know, not continually answering the same things.
It's watch what I do,
right,
but then show me
right
how you do it, right?
Right.
So it's I think, you know, you also touched upon a few things there, and I'm gonna nitpick on one or two,
ahead.
But you know, all these pieces of the new agent program that you have at your disposal.
Yep.
I would even challenge and say these are tools that even a franchise owner or team leader could definitely benefit from in their daily practice.
I present priority planning, which is shifting your business plan to an action plan, and growth hacking to our top 50. I present database mining to our top 50. Women in finance, new to Canada. Oh my goodness. See, even I'm losing track of my own modules.
There's just so much, right?
Right. But I wanted to, when I started, it's very funny. The first day I built my vision board on what you know, I was going to do in the future. And that vision board is at home and it's got sticky notes and writing on it. Do you know it's almost 80% complete? It's very funny because I wanted to go through, you know, the different seasons of, you know, a new agent, a seasoned agent, and a business owner, and what kind of support they needed, what that looked like. So yeah, some of those education modules are not just for new agents. They're for existing agents, teams, you know. Don't stop learning.
No, never stop learning, right? Like you said, whether you're a new agent getting into the industry or a business owner running your business, it's the same thing.
Absolutely.
It's, instead of making the phone calls to the clients, it's moving the business along every day.
Right.
And how do you still take these transferable skills to utilize in your daily business?
Here's the things I've learned, and I will tell you as new agents. So, new agents don't understand. They think because, okay, I got my license, I've got my business cards, and now I'm telling everybody I'm business for self. Let me wait now.
I did my part.
Right.
Why is no one
Stop
coming?
waiting. Nothing's coming. Go find it.
Exactly.
The other side of it is, I've also seen this industry go 20 years ago becoming an agent. It was sink or swim. Go find your deals. Come back when you got one and I'll help you. Mm-hmm. Then we went into, helping to support agents, giving them, education pieces and helping them along. We're now at a whole other level. Agents are not just looking for training. They're looking for mentorship. Mm-hmm. They are looking for, somebody that they can shadow. They want somebody accessible when they have questions, when they have, not just that 2 hours a week. They need more. They expect more.
And as they should.
Right.
I find, and I mean, again, I haven't been doing this as long as you, but, I find even in my own journey coming up,
right,
there was a lack of training. There was a lack of support. And a lot of the knowledge that you obtained came from just being motivated to go out and find it yourself. Right. So you continuously do, another course, another certificate, or in my case, I went on and did my A&P, right? Because you just want to get more.
Right.
But today, I feel like, yes, people want the education, and maybe it's even more readily available to them.
Oh, absolutely. It's just there's so many. First of all, a lot of these websites have seasoned agents on there asking questions. You can now throw out, hey, I've got this client with this issue. Has anybody else come across this? So there's external support. There's internal support. There's Google.
I say that to my staff all the time.
Right. I want to introduce you to somebody. It's Google. Right. There's AI.
Yeah, AI is a great thing.
I find a lot of franchise owners and brokers don't take advantage of the plethora of education we have online. Mm-hmm. Plethora. Mm-hmm. Two amazing people, Mary Gunkowski and Greg Donville.
Yep. Love Greg.
Filled with education.
Yeah.
Right. And they know their stuff.
Yeah.
So there's lots of support there for somebody wanting to grow their business and somebody trying to get in the business. Here's another thing I do find is a game changer with new agents. People want to be accountable. Mm-hmm. Sometimes when you're left to, hey, make your 10 phone calls or do this or do that, it's easy to fall off of that or start doing something else. Mm-hmm. As franchise owners, I think you need to have that accountability check at the end of the week. Show me your log of your 10 phone calls every day. What kind of information are you putting out there? What are you doing networking-wise? What are you doing business development-wise? What are you doing education-wise?
You need to hold them accountable.
Right, and people want to be held accountable. Mm-hmm. So whether that's an accountability buddy between two new agents to say we need to be doing the stuff to move us forward, to make us successful, that stops the agent from, as I said, sitting there and waiting.
Well, 100%. And I think here's the part that I find maybe people are hesitant to do. Mm-hmm. And maybe it's the franchise owner, maybe it's the team leader, whatever the situation may be. But I find there's a fear to hold people accountable to the goals that they told you that they wanted to achieve.
Right. Okay, thank you. Because I think everybody thinks, that agent will, am I pushing them too hard, or they'll leave, or when you sit down together and you plan those goals, here's the goal. Now, what's the action step to get there?
Exactly.
Okay, we got to keep things moving forward. We have to keep, just because you're holding somebody accountable, that makes you a great mentor.
Exactly. It makes you a great leader.
Right.
Because you're helping them achieve what they want.
Absolutely. And let's face it, this is a great industry. It's not just a great job. There's it's flexibility. Mm-hmm. It's amazing income. Mm-hmm. All of these things support your personal life too.
Exactly.
Not just your business life.
No.
So holding somebody accountable to provide them with a better space in this world. It's not bad.
It's not a bad thing at all.
Right.
Right? Like, I still remember when I was first thinking about getting into the industry, someone said to me, getting your mortgage broker's license is like getting a license to print money. And I said, okay, I'm in.
Right, right.
The rest is up to you.
Right.
How hard do you want to work?
Yeah.
Right? And so why don't you tell me, what is your view on what makes a successful mortgage broker or agent?
Again, I love this question because dealing with the top 50, there are some things that clearly stand out to me. Listen, grit and hustle, no doubt about it. Our successful brokers aren't walking in the office at 11 in the morning. They're working all day. They, support their team. Open door policy of support. Their referral sources, they are always there to, again, give support, pay attention to. They educate themselves constantly. They're at different things that are providing education, trying new things. And databases. Mm-hmm. They take care of their databases. They have that client experience where that client then becomes an advocate and a cheerleader. And I will tell you, Gold Rush.
Love it.
Right. That's a game changer.
Yeah.
So incorporating Gold Rush into your business actually will help some of these brokers. It will give them back some of their time.
100%.
How valuable is that?
It's huge. Like,
you can buy a lot of stuff, right? You can't buy time.
No, you can't buy time at all.
Right.
I remember when I was in BC for the owners conference that Gary was having, and they brought up Gold Rush for the first time, and I was looking at this and I'm saying, this is fantastic.
Right.
I remember taking a picture and sending it off to my team, sitting there in the meeting saying, this is something we're doing. Like, there's no questions here. We're doing this. So let's get ready. Let's get organized. Let's make sure that we are 100% taking advantage of this the best way we can.
So you're an early adopter, and look at online. We've already seen people, oh my God, I've already gotten 2 calls, or I've gotten, it's already working.
Exactly.
Right. Why would you not want to do something that's working? So just going back to your question, these are the things that successful people do. Mm-hmm. They are early adopters. They try things that will, help grow their business. And again, something that's going to help grow how do you grow your business and actually put less of your time into it?
Exactly. How do you make it more efficient?
Right.
Automation?
Absolutely. Having somebody else take care of it for you?
Exactly.
Amazing. Exactly. Right. I do see those things. They are constantly networking, business development. As I said, it's hustle.
Hustle.
Yeah.
So talk to me about your views on hiring. I'm sure that team leaders, franchise owners, those that are trying to grow a business, they're all wondering. Right.
It's interesting. I learned about hiring when I was hiring full-time staff, and I see it today. In the new agent program, of course, I don't push new agents into franchises, and franchises have to take them. But I've watched franchises hire everyone, and I've watched franchises say, no, this person's not going to work, or that person's not going to work. Nobody knows who's going to work. I don't believe that. I hired people, full-time employees, who interviewed amazing and were terrible workers. There's probably a reason they were great interviewers. Oh my God, did I miss the mark?
Yeah.
And then I hired some younger people that I thought had some great energy, and I knew weren't completely qualified for the job, but I thought, I'm going to give this person a chance. Mm-hmm. And boy, they were amazing. And not just them. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of people over the years. So even my own experience of being in this industry forever and hiring people surprise you. Mm-hmm. And salespeople, it's like putting, flour in a sieve, right? You're going to put, 10 people in, the immediate shake, 3 fall out,
right away.
A year later, you're losing another 3, Whatever the case is, at the end of the day, you might have 3 of them left out of 10, and one's a superstar, one's producing, and one's not. We don't know who those are going to be, because I will tell you, and I will never you couldn't get a name out of me if you tried, but there are some people in this industry where I'm like, how are you successful?
They stumbled into it. It's real, right? People
Right.
fall into greatness, right?
And there's no, again, new agents will ask me, what does that look like? There's no one look to a successful broker. You can be great at numbers and you will attract those people who want to sit down and talk numbers. You can be great at, going through a whole contract and standard charge terms, and people will love that. If you look at me and say, listen, we're going to, I got you this great rate and product, you want to go for a beer? You're my guy.
Well, they say you attract your tribe, right?
Absolutely.
So it's they,
Right.
whoever they might be, whether they're new, whether they're experienced, whether we were talking earlier, maybe they're
Right.
coming from sales or not.
Right.
They're going to attract their tribe. The people
Absolutely.
that, for them,
Right.
are going to be the ones that are willing to do business with them.
Everyone's not for everybody.
Exactly.
That's, what makes the world go round,
Exactly.
right? So, yeah, there is no one look. There is no one person. But so, when somebody thinks somebody's not going to be successful, I think that's a lost opportunity.
I think so. Well, 100% it is. Because
Right.
at the end of the day, I think as a leader, if you take the opportunity
Right.
to actually water the seed that,
Right.
they're coming to you
Right.
with,
Right.
if you take the opportunity to actually put the time, energy, and effort into them,
Right.
they're going to realize some sort of benefit.
Absolutely.
Now, the question is, how much time, energy, and effort are you willing to put into them so that they could actually realize their full
Right.
potential?
So here is the balancing act. I think people hire people and spend too much time on people they shouldn't. I think people don't hire people that they should take an opportunity with. This is where we cut string early. You have accountability. If you line those 10 people up, okay, here's all your 4 underwriting modules. I want you to do this, 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 and this, and then let's come back. If somebody's not doing the homework and they're working full time, you're out.
Yeah.
You're not interested. I want hungry hustle. I want people who want to be there. So cut string earlier and put time into the people who want to be successful. As long as you're providing them with, the next thing to learn, the next thing to do, the next thing we're meeting on. Okay, what's your business plan look like? And somebody could say, business plan. People don't know how to put together. A business plan could be 1 page.
It could be
Right.
words on an email.
Right. Where are you getting your business from? How are you going to do that? Who do you need to meet more? Again, then we'll take that and say, from 7 to 8, I want you to listen to podcasts. From 8 to 9, I want you doing social media. From 9 to 11, you make your phone calls. Here we have the rest of the afternoon. You're going to do some education. You're going to do some networking. You're going to do, and it's about, and I did say that, I always say, it's about shaking hands and kissing babies. And one time I went, kissing hands and shaking babies. And I was
Definitely
like,
don't shake the babies.
No, that's not right. So I always very careful when I say that again.
Slow it down.
But the bottom line, right? You're doing mortgages. Get in your community. Act like the mayor.
Exactly.
Period. Get out there and meet people constantly. So, as I said, don't give people who are not doing the work your time and give people who are more of your time. Have your set, hey, here's our training, or hey, here's, and you don't have to do all the work, which leads me here, into another thing. So I look at some of the franchise or broker owners. You can have your own book of business, a big one, and work that. And you can have new agents. You just can't do both. Right. Because it's impossible to manage your own book of agents.
Your book of business,
right?
yeah.
Your book of business, right? Your database. And manage brand new agents who are like babies and need a lot of attention.
They need your time.
Right. So I've seen different things that have worked. Obviously you could have an office manager who, wants to do that and wants to take on that training. Or your seasoned agents then become, mentors to the newer agents, and you work out something with them, but trying to balance both of those, doing the training and working your own book if you have a big one, is a disaster.
It's hard to do.
Right.
It's, you can't split yourself in half.
Right.
Right? So
Right.
as much as you want to do it,
Yep.
I think you're setting yourself up for failure.
Oh, I guarantee you will disappoint someone.
Yeah, 100%.
And you don't want it to be either one of those.
No, you don't want it to be your team, and you definitely
Right.
don't want it to be your clients.
Right.
And people have asked me because I have an established book of business I've run for years, and we've expanded the business over the course. And one of the things I found, especially early on, was you got to make a choice.
Right.
And the choice for us was, okay, well, let's bring in people because my clients matter.
Right.
Right. My clients know me. That's the reason why we were able to find our success. So
Took you years to build that.
Of course.
Totally.
Yeah. Right. Over 2007 till now. It's
Right.
crazy to think about the ride.
Right.
And
that's your bread and butter.
exactly.
Right.
So you need to find a way to support it, but still be able to transition to support what the new business would be, which would be the agents.
Right.
But now I'm going to ask the question I think most team leaders or franchise owners would want to ask. You dedicate your time to the new agents in order to want to build.
Yeah.
Giving up what you know has been working for years. How do you really make that decision? At what point in time do you make that decision?
Talking to some people, first of all, let's face it, sometimes working your book of business and doing mortgages is Groundhog Day over and over. Some people just need that new outlet. And to be able to support people and help people rejuvenates you. So sometimes it's just about, listen, I need to add, I can't do Groundhog Day. It's also, being your own mortgage agent can get lonely.
It's true.
Right. When you get to that point where you're big, it's about building that atmosphere around you, helping people grow as well. And some people love to, if you get on some of those websites, there's the same people on there all the time. I'm a top contributor because clearly I'm trying to grow the new agent business, right? But there's independent mortgage brokers and agents on there all the time because they like the education aspect. They like the helping aspect of it. So that's how they feed that part of them. There's a whole bunch of different reasons. I think if you don't like that side and it's all about the money, it probably won't work. Right. But when you people want to build things. You built this great book of business. You've got these clients. Okay, now you're there. What's the next challenge? Exactly. What's the next level? Exactly. And it feeds the different parts of you.
Yeah, I mean, I like to say I'm an Aquarius, so I love change, right?
Perfect.
So
right.
For me, this was the next evolution, the expansion.
Absolutely.
So why don't you tell me what is a new agent looking for today?
Definitely for mentorship. Definitely for somebody that is going to be accessible for their conversations. They don't realize that they will do hundreds of deals, thousands of deals if they're successful in this business. They're always worried about the first one. I'm going to lose a deal. There's not going to be nobody there to help me. There's going to be, and it's like, no.
It'll be fine.
Right. So, and they're also looking for transparency. They're looking for authenticity. Don't forget they've got a whole bunch of different people calling them, promising them all these things. And they're just like, oh my God, who do I sign up with? Who do I trust? So I try and give as much information when I'm on that initial interview with them. And depending on what they're looking for, different franchises have to, as I said, some franchises have a mentorship program. Some franchises have a manager. So I talk to them about all these different opportunities, but they're definitely looking for more than a 2-hour-a-week training.
Yeah. People want support.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I will tell you, it falls in line with even when I worked for a company. Years ago, I'd interview people and they were like, thank you so much. And it was so great. And, here's my resume and really hoping. And, I sat on this side of the table. I was doing the hiring. When I look at the end of my career, we sat down at the table and I did the interview first. And then they did the interview.
Exactly.
So what opportunities are there for me? How will I be mentored to get to the next steps? Those conversations didn't take place.
Yeah.
Now it's a joint interview and they want to know how they're going to get ahead. People stay in jobs for 2 years today, not 10.
Exactly.
So the same thing has happened in the mortgage agent and broker arena. People, they expect more.
Yeah, as they should.
Right.
This is their livelihood. It should be their livelihood.
It should be their livelihood. But here's the other thing. They're also giving up pieces of their commission, paying fees for these supports. So, there's an expectation there.
Of course. If you're giving something, you're going to get something.
Right.
Right?
Right.
It's an exchange. It always has been.
Absolutely.
So why don't you tell me a little bit about where or how a team leader could potentially grow their book of business?
Call me.
Well, that was easy.
Well, you know what? Right. I take a lot in, and I'm always looking for new franchises because let's face it, we only have so many franchises in so many areas, and again, not all franchises take on new agents because they don't want to do the training.
Yeah, it's a lot of
So
work.
we'll have a conversation about how you're set up to take on a new franchise. On top of that, yes, there is your own. If you want to grow anything, you have to get out and socialize and network and do all those things, you know, and some people will say, oh, I know, but I hate that.
You got to be social.
You got to be social,
Yeah.
right? Again, shaking hands and kissing
Babies, exactly. Or in this day and age, get social on social, right?
Get social on social, all the different, let people know I'm looking to grow. Don't start, you never know who knows somebody who wants to become an agent or who knows somebody who's unhappy with the training they're getting.
Exactly.
Let everybody know, get on social, start networking, look within, within DLC will
DLC,
be
of course.
myself. And then there's the external sales guys, but they more go after existing client agents.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't stay quiet about it. There's lots of ways to put out the word that you are interested in growing. And I will tell you, when you become a good trainer, it's amazing how people find you.
Well, I think that's really part of it, right?
Right.
The successful franchisors or the successful team leads are
Right.
really those that are great at training.
Absolutely.
Because it's about reproducing either what you've produced
Right.
or being
Right.
able to just teach what you know works.
A lot of business owners measure financial metrics, but they fail to measure culture equity.
Exactly.
And when you are building teams, not only does that new person coming in bring excitement, but around you, other people see, nobody's stale and standing still. We're growing. We're doing things. And look, a brokerage or a franchise is never going to retain 100% of their agents.
No.
Right. People retire, although not lots of brokers retire.
I don't think so.
People move on.
Yeah.
People leave. But if you have the right systems in place and you're bringing in new people, that big producer leaving has less of an effect on your business because you've got new people coming up through the ranks and they're growing as well. So it just, not only does it provide culture, not only does it is sustainable as a business, but it also provides a value proposition when you're looking for an exit strategy.
True.
So there's all sorts of great reasons why building a business is a good thing.
Yeah, it's the smart thing.
Right.
It gives you the opportunity to have something that is real, tangible,
Right.
not just hoping.
Right. Well, it just, as I said, it affects all it's monetarily, it's culturally, the vibe, energy, it ticks all of those boxes.
Exactly. I mean, I think I said it to you earlier, I walk in here every day and the team they make me want to work, right? And, previous to that, just coming into my old office, it's just me
Right.
by myself, sitting at my desk.
Right.
It was a heck of a lot of different experience, right?
Well, and I just said a word there culturally where I was talking about culture equity, but then there's all of the different cultures in Canada too. And I got to tell you, some of my favorite franchises are the culturally diverse franchises because you get so many people thinking in so many different ways. It makes for great conversations, how this person was educated in this country and how this person was educated in this country. If you get 10 of the people all with the same education in Canada and put them at a table,
That's going to be a
they
boring
kind of
conversation.
come up with the same, answers, the same way of thinking. You take 10 people from 10 different countries. Wow. Like the conversation, and it's not just the education, it's the cultural backgrounds, it's the different things. So, it feeds on so many different levels, as well as opens the opportunity to more business
Exactly.
in so many different, arenas, because sometimes people do want to deal with people who speak the language, understand their culture, you know, so, right, it's great opportunity. There's so many reasons to have a diverse cultural franchise.
Yeah.
I love it.
Agreed.
Yep.
You know, it's something that we try here at Uptown as well. And, you know, it's just having the different types of conversations.
Right.
And, you know, everybody's focused on rate, of course, but, you know, some are, it's all rate. That's the business. And okay, that's fine. And we'll work with you. We'll try to find those types of, you know, lenders to help you drive your business. And for others, it's, you know, it's new to Canada. We're just looking to get in the door and get my first home. And, you know, and so being able to have those different types of conversations, I think for me, that's part of what I love, right? It's every day something different.
Well, there's such opportunity, let's face it, with New to Canada. And it's not just CMHC, you know, New to Canada program. We're also bringing people in on, you know, some already have landed status on different levels, you know, where they can start working tomorrow, but maybe they don't fit the CMHC box. Okay, well, we'll put you in this alternative, you know, lender for a year.
Yeah, get you
because
in the door.
they already, they know the house they want. They've already come over. They're probably in contact with the real estate agent or people they know here. So why wait to fit in that box when we have other opportunities, you know, for you and get you into the home? Start planting your family roots.
Build your equity, you know, start building that appreciation.
Get your beacon score, all of those things.
Yeah, all those great things, right?
Yeah.
That's, you know, well, especially this year, I even going back to last year, just having access to the alternative channel and private lending is something that, you know, I think every mortgage broker or agent really started appreciating the private space over the last little bit.
Right. And well, CMHC just released their stats where, you know, our A lenders kind of really stayed status quo, and what grew were the alternative lenders. Yeah. And that is because, they're taking alternative income. You know, they'll look at Airbnb, they'll look at different types of income. They're a lot more flexible in their GDS and TDS, whereas, you know, people weren't qualifying now because a lot of people, you know, okay, well, I had that 2% stress test that I qualified on, so I can absorb that. Well, yeah, rates have gone up, but everybody forgot about all the other debt they've accumulated on top of that. So now,
doesn't work.
Sorry, yeah. Even you've surpassed the 2%.
Yes. Now you need to make sure that you have answers for the alternative space or in the alternative space.
We have a mortgage for everyone.
Oh, I love that saying.
Me too.
So why don't you tell me what motivates you? Like, what's your why? Why are you doing all of this?
Okay. Listen, I'm clearly a people person, and I have energy to spare. Nobody loves to laugh more than me. I love change. I love people. I love all of this. And I am one of those people that love to see other people succeed. When I'm teaching or going through something and I see that light bulb, I'm like, oh, love it. You know, so yeah, I've got some great new agents that are so successful. I had one guy that was on, I saw his posting. I brought him on 4 years ago, and he was looking for an assistant, and I'm like, stop it.
Just seeing the growth.
Oh, it's so amazing, that, you know, to see his growth that went on there. Yeah.
That's got to be rewarding. I mean, that's part of, I think, why anyone really goes into that leadership management style role, right? You're motivated by the growth.
Yeah, and as I said, you know, I had done some stuff for years. I needed a new challenge. I needed a new, you know, side of the business, and coming over and taking on this role was amazing. Yeah.
So I think if any team leaders, franchisors that are out there that are not talking to you or haven't talked to you before, you're probably going to be busy after this one.
Oh, love it. Love it. Bring it.
So before we wrap up, is there anything that you want to bring to the table? Anything you want to discuss?
You know what? I think we've really covered it all. I have to say, you know, look, here's the bottom line too. When I was leaving the place I was at, I could have gone to a couple of different brokerages. I picked Dominion Lending Centers, and I did not make a mistake. They are amazing, you know, and the opportunity to go to universities, Gold Rush, all the support. Take advantage of those things. As I said, it's what leaders do in this business. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's one of the things I noticed right away. Yeah. You know, coming over from Mortgage Alliance, everybody knows I was there for 15 years, it seemed. And, you know, making the choice to leave and coming over, of course, change is always going to be hard. Right. But
seeing how this business is run and just everything that they do and the support that they give, it's something different.
Right.
This is like, no offense to anybody, but this is the big leagues, right?
For sure. Right. Well, number one brokerage in Canada for a reason. And when you say, change is hard, man, that's where all the growth is.
That's where the growth happens, right? And
Amazing.
just everything that they do, everything they bring, it's something different. So if you're not part of the DLC network, you should probably give us a call.
Call me as well, right? Call Clyde. We're here for you.
We're here for you. So I think with that,
this has been great. Thank you so much for having me on. It was fun answering these questions, but I definitely like the driver's seat.
it's a different experience.
It is.
It definitely is.
It's been great.
With that, Uptown Experts, we're out.